Cool. Hello everyone, welcome to weekly SIG Autoscaling meeting for Monday the 20th of January 2025. We've got 5 items currently on the agenda. If there's anyone else that wants to add something to it, feel free. But let's start with Kuba.
Right. So as mentioned, the agenda, Justina has actually unblocked our end-to-end tests that have been broken for pretty much forever, the GCE ones. And I think that means that we should at least resume looking at them during this meeting. And also I want to, that will necessitate probably from time to time fixing them whenever something breaks. I also want to look into, first of all, updating the release instructions that we have to include, like to switch from testing things manually to rely on these instead. And ideally to also enable some sort of pre-submit based on maybe a subset of them. But if I remember, Justina, correctly, that would require moving the tests to our repo because they're currently still in Kubernetes. We need to at least update the owners there and preferably move it to our repo for easier iteration. But yeah, none of this is critical apart from making the test healthy and making sure that they don't regress again. I'll cut issues for the non-critical stuff in probably the next 2 weeks. So if anybody is up for some test work, ping me on Slack.
Awesome, thanks for that. I think the proposal to resume it as a regular part of the meeting and reviewing them, I think, is a sensible one, at least to make sure we don't regress, as well as the updating the owners.
Yeah, it's not put a lot of work into making this test work again.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. Any questions from anyone on that? Any concerns?
Yes, the owners. So for the owners, it mostly means updating the SIG Autoscaling maintainers group, because the owners already has an appropriate group. It's just that the group membership is not up to date.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Cool. Do you want to take that? Are you going to raise a PR to do that update, Kuba?
Yeah. I'll take up the owners thingy together with cutting the follow-up issue.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Max.
Max isn't here, but I can handle the next 3 bullet points because they're all kind of related. So skipping down to the first of mine, I've created a vertical pod autoscaling channel just because there's a bunch of us chatting in DMs, and I thought let's have a space, but the SIG Autoscaling channel felt wrong because there's many other projects and we didn't want to clutter that. So vertical pod autoscaling in the Kubernetes Slack. Then in addition to that, we have, I think, 2 active approvers. So in an attempt to streamline work and kind of protect them from handling issues or other pull requests, I've created milestones for the next few releases. And I've put what I felt was best for each milestone. It's me doing it by myself in isolation. So happy for anybody else to get involved and disagree with me or add more or whatever. Maybe at some stage we need a formal backlog process, but I figured for now we can just wing it. So anyway, so there's milestones for the next 2 releases. Well, next 3 releases. I think it was the patch release, which we've just done, 1.3.0 and 1.4.0. And so just to kind of start getting through our backlog of pull requests and issues. And then Max is asking for review on his admission webhook CA bundle reload pull request. I've DM'd him about the channel and the milestones, and I've said I've just put it in the 1.4.0 milestone, because I think the 1.3.0 release is currently late, although we don't promise a release date, but keeping 1.3.0 as slim as possible, I think, is what we should focus on, and then focus on other things in 1.4.0. So, bunch of work. If anybody cares about the milestones and wants to change them, let's chat about it in the channel and figure it out. And I see Ray's on the call. Hey, Ray.
Yeah, I was just trying to find an emoji to say thank you, Adrian, for all of this. This is awesome. Streamlining this is going to be really helpful. So appreciate all of your help.
Cool. Do you have a plan for the next release date yet for 1.30?
No. So I was just taking a look at your milestone list, and I think I can take a look at least the 2 PRs to resolve those last 2 issues for 1.3.0. And then I'll cut as soon as that's done.
Perfect,
or maybe I'll get someone, maybe you could help me with that release. That way we can, yeah, anyway.
Probably.
Yeah, and then we can get 1.3 out as soon as we can, as soon as possible, since 1.2.2 is done.
Cool, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for your work on all this, Adrian. Nice stuff. Cool. Mohammed Solomon.
Yes, I submitted a PR more than a month ago, and the default assignee did not respond. I tried to ping them, then they suggested that one of them said he is not working on this anymore. He said I should assign it to Cuba. I did, and so far I'm not getting any response around this. It's been a month and a week.
I am sorry, which PR is that?
It is it's linked. It is number 7604. It's basically a bug at GCP where you cannot scale from 0 if you have extended resources.
Yeah, okay. I mean, pointing to me was the right choice. Sorry for not noticing it earlier. I will definitely take a look this week.
I guess, do we need to update the owners as well if Giant's not currently actively reviewing?
Yeah, I think it's the emeritus reviewers, I think. Yeah. Okay, let me actually take a more comprehensive task to clean up the owners and like set up the groups to be up to date overall in our repo.
I think there are some existing tools lying around. I can't remember. I think Dims has put together some scripts in the past for owner file reviews. If you haven't seen it, I will see if I can find a link to it.
I'll appreciate that. If not, I'll dig around.
Okay, sweet.
Thank you.
Cool. Sweet. Sorry, losing my tabs. JM, yeah, I have not managed to get around to reviewing, so no beer for me.
Let me, if there's something I can do, I'm open to anything at this moment. If you want me to organize a meeting or something to discuss it, I'm happy to.
Let me see. I've got an hour set, a couple of hours actually set aside this evening, so I'll give it a first pass this evening and fire in some feedback, and then we can, depending on that, can maybe just figure out next steps some point tomorrow. Sweet. Cool. That was currently all we had on the agenda. Is there anything else anyone wants to raise this week?
Yeah, hello folks. So this is Plamen speaking. I just wanted to raise awareness, so to say, for an issue that we found out. So I think we found it out maybe like a year ago, but only the past few months we've been investigating it. So it's about cases where VPA recommender could sometimes issue the min allowed memory recommendations, and in fact, it actually internally issues 0 memory recommendations. So pods under VPA could start getting crash loop back off due to OM queues in those cases. And what we've also noticed is that VPA recommender actually doesn't like resolve this situation easily. So sometimes restarts don't even help. And in our case, what helped was to basically delete both the offending VPA and the corresponding VPA checkpoints. So we've pinned it down to, this only happens after restarts of VPA. It only happens if you use VPA checkpoints. It seems to be, well, not seems to be, but it's actually most likely, and according to the logging that we also added and used in a fork of our VPA, or indicate that it's because of the way that we save data to the VPA checkpoints and how we load it. Because, so if you're aware, we VPA checkpoints store histogram weights in integer format, whereas internally VPA uses floating points to store weights of its memory and CPU histograms. And during those conversions from float to integer and then from integer back to float, there could be some precision loss. And due to this precision loss, the histogram eventually could be detected as empty. So it's all explained in more details in the issue itself. And if the histogram itself is detected as empty, then VPA recommender just recommends 0 resources. And because it doesn't edit the values in the checkpoints any further, so there's no way for it to like modify this histogram now that's reporting that's incorrectly being reported as empty. It just never recovers. And yeah, I won't go into details in this meeting. Maybe if you want to, or if there's more time, I can add it to the agenda for next week. Also after some people, if anybody is interested, has had time to also look through the issue. We also had, so we looked into this with Marco and Ismail. And we also had like a couple of suggestions on possible ways to fix it. But yeah, that's it basically.
Thanks for sharing. I think we should have a look at the issue and chat about it asynchronously.
Yep.
And thanks for the detailed bug report. There's a lot there.
Yeah, it's pretty convoluted, so hopefully I tried my best to explain it as best as I could. But yeah, if you have anything, just ping me on Slack. And
thank you.
Kudos also from my side. Poaman actually looked a lot into this issue. As he shared, we deployed a custom VPA with enhanced logging to be able to catch all the details. So kudos also from my side.
Awesome. Thanks very much for that. Anything else from anyone else? I guess one thing from me, it is SIG annual report season. If there is anyone that wants to make sure that anything is included in the report, more than happy to include that. I'll include a link to the issue, which links to the template in the meeting notes. So if there's anything anyone wants to make sure isn't missed, particularly on work, that we've delivered, 100% going to make sure that's in there, as well as issues that we sort of want to flag up. So yeah, I think as we've discussed in past meetings, trying to get more approvers, etc., in certain areas if we want to highlight things like that, and the work we're doing to do that for potential future contributors, then that would be much appreciated.
Guy, how do we contribute with you on that? Like, what's the best way?
I think my idea would be we can just raise a PR, like a Stalking Horse PR against the template, and we can use that to sort of discuss. I'll fire the first link into where's the template? Sorry. It is very deliberately, I think, for due to past years, people struggling with filling them in, is deliberately quite short. But if there are things we want to sort of highlight, then I think that it's very much open to us as long as we get an initial PR raised by the middle of February, I think is the timeline on there. But yeah, I think my plan is to raise the initial, like just an initial PR, not changing anything this week, and then we can just discuss in the comments of that.
Sounds good.
Cool. Sweet. Anything else from anyone else? Cool. In that case, thanks very much for attending, and see you next week.
Thanks. Bye.